Beyond the Map story number 5. Post 1. Found something I wasn't supposed to see. Timestamp. Last night, around 11 p.m. So, last night, I was looking for an old tax document on the shared laptop. You know how it is, digging through folders, half asleep. Then I see a folder labeled Project Chimera. Weird name, right? Curiosity got the better of me. Big mistake. Huge. Inside were emails. Lots of them. Back and forth with someone else. Talking about our future, when we finally leave. The plan is almost complete. My stomach dropped to my damn toes. It wasn't just flirting. This was an actual, planned exit strategy. Years. 7 freaking years. And it was all a countdown to this? The emails went back months. Detailing how unhappy they were, never mentioned a damn thing to my face, by the way, how they were just waiting for the right time. Waiting for what, exactly? My heart was hammering, and my hands were shaking so bad I could barely scroll. Then I saw it. An attachment. A document titled Joint Venture Proposal. It outlined a business idea. Our business idea. The one we'd been talking about for ages. The one I'd poured my savings into researching. They were planning to launch it. With them. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. The air just left my lungs. All those late nights I spent brainstorming, all the sacrifices I made to save up the capital. It was all going to be used to build a life with someone else. Someone I didn't even know existed until last night. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I just closed the laptop, went to bed, and stared at the ceiling until the sun came up. My mind was racing. Hurt. Yeah, a lot. But mostly, I felt cold. Like a switch had flipped. This wasn't just a breakup. This was a calculated betrayal. And you know what? I'm a big believer in karma. It just sometimes needs a little nudge. Gonna take a few days to process and figure things out. But trust me, this ain't over. Not by a long shot. Update 1. Operation Paper Trail is a go. Timestamp. 3 days later, afternoon. Okay, so the last few days have been interesting. I played it cool. Acted like nothing was wrong. Made small talk, the usual, how was your day? BS. Meanwhile, I was working. Quietly. Methodically. First things first. Documentation. I went back into the laptop, they haven't changed the password, bless their oblivious heart, and copied everything. Every email, every attachment, the business proposal, even chat logs I found tucked away. I made sure to back it up in multiple secure locations. Cloud, external drive, the whole 9 yards. You can't fight dirty with clean hands, right? Next, I started digging. Remember how the joint venture proposal mentioned initial investments? Turns out, a significant chunk of that was my money. Money I'd transferred to what I thought was a joint savings account months ago, specifically for this business. Checked the statements. Surprise, surprise. A large withdrawal was made a week ago. To an account I don't recognize. I also remembered a conversation we had about NDAs. We were both so excited about the business idea, we agreed to draft them up to protect our intellectual property. I found the draft on the laptop. Guess who never signed it? Yep. So, now I have a solid paper trail. Proof of intent, proof of stolen funds, in my eyes, anyway, and a clear picture of the timeline. The hurt is still there, simmering under the surface, but it's being overshadowed by a strange sense of focus. Like I'm solving a puzzle. A really messed up, personal puzzle. Tonight, I'm making a few calls. Talking to a lawyer friend, just to get some initial advice. No rash decisions yet. Just gathering intel. The storm is coming, folks. I can feel it in my bones. Update 2. The pieces are falling. Timestamp. 1 week after Update 1, evening. Things have escalated. After talking to my lawyer friend, who was, understandably, floored, I decided to send a formal letter. Not a screaming, emotional rant. A calm, concise letter outlining the situation, the evidence I have, and my intentions. It basically said, I know what you've been doing. I have proof. Consider this your only chance to explain before I take further action. Their reaction. Panic. Pure, unadulterated panic. I got a barrage of texts and calls. All the usual stuff. Denial, accusations, trying to gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. I didn't answer. Let it go to voicemail. I wanted them to stew. To realize the gravity of the situation. Then came the in-person visit. They showed up at my place, looking pale and disheveled. Tried to sweet-talk their way in, tears and promises and the whole shebang. I stood firm. Told them I had nothing to say and that all communication would now go through my lawyer. That seemed to really hit them. The realization that this wasn't just a lover's spat. This was serious. Legal serious. Turns out, the someone else in the emails? Their long-lost high school sweetheart who conveniently reappeared a few months ago. And the business idea? Apparently, it was something they'd vaguely discussed years ago. My research, my investment. Just a happy coincidence for their grand reunion plan. My lawyer is now drafting a lawsuit. It's not about the money anymore, though getting it back would be nice. It's about accountability. About showing them that you can't just trample over someone's life and expect to get away with it. It's been tough, not gonna lie. Seeing the person you thought you knew crumble in front of you is weird. But underneath the sadness, there's a growing sense of relief. Like a heavy weight is slowly lifting. Final update. Checkmate. Timestamp. 2 weeks after update 2, morning. Well, folks, it's over. And honestly, I feel good. Not ecstatic, not vindicated in a movie villain kind of way. Just at peace. The lawsuit did its job. Faced with a mountain of evidence and the prospect of a messy legal battle, they caved. Agreed to return every single penny of my investment. Signed a legally binding agreement stating they would not pursue any business venture based on our shared ideas for the next 5 years. And, as a final nail in the coffin, they had to issue a formal written apology. Reading that apology felt strange. It was full of the usual, "I'm sorry if I hurt you" BS, but buried in there, I could sense a flicker of understanding. A realization of the magnitude of their betrayal. They've moved out, of course. The apartment feels quiet, empty, but also mine. I've started making small changes. Rearranging furniture, putting up pictures I like. It's a slow process, reclaiming my space and my life. My lawyer friend has been a rock star. Guided me through every step, kept me grounded when the emotions threatened to overwhelm. I owe them big time. As for the high school sweetheart, last I heard, through the grapevine naturally, things aren't exactly sunshine and roses. Turns out, building a relationship on a foundation of deceit isn't the smartest move. Who knew? I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't sting. 7 years is a long time. But I refuse to let this define me. I learned a valuable lesson, albeit a painful one. Trust your gut, document everything, and don't be afraid to fight for what's yours. I'm focusing on myself now. On rebuilding, on finally launching my business, on surrounding myself with people who actually have my back. The echoes of the betrayal might linger for a while, but they're fading. The stone that was my heart is starting to thaw. Thanks for following along, Reddit. Your virtual support actually helped more than you know. Onwards and upwards. Victory hand, like and subscribe my channel.